Hey, hello, my name is Bill, and today I want to show you another easy to make quesadilla. This one's going to be with chicken, mushrooms, bacon, that kind of stuff. I'm sure you've had something similar at, like a steakhouse, an appetizer. This is something I just kind of put together because I was thinking this morning, what could I make? Had some leftover chicken, throw in some chicken wings. That'll work just fine. I just skinned it and cut into small pieces or tore into small pieces. So it's really, really simple. So what I'm gonna do, take my grande tortilla shell and put it in the bottom of the skillet that's pretty warm. And I just want to get it a little bit crispy. And while that's working, I need to put a little cheese on the bottom. Cheese is the most important thing because it's going to keep it all together. And trying to get something in the pan, even though it's non-stick, it might stick. This nice little layer of cheese right to the edges. Heck, add a little more. Alright, so take a little bit of chicken. Just gonna toss it around here, it doesn't take a whole lot. So make sure to leave room for everything else I want to put on here. Got some mushrooms I had sauteed a little while ago. That way I can say that we had some of our veggie with us. So I got some sauteed mushrooms. I'm going to put a little bit of bacon. It's just cooked bacon that I chopped up. Like I said, you don't want to make it too tall or you won't be able to cook it all the way through. Last but not least, I'm going to put a little red onion. I love red onion, it's great for decoration. And of course it's a little stronger than a sweet onion, but it's not like a cooking onion. See how talented I am. Still want to make sure that got some heat under here. Cheese is really melting nice. A little crispier. Usually you can tell because you can kind of move it in the pan. A little more heat. So the cheese is a glue. That's why there's so much cheese in quesadillas. So now that I see that everything's getting warmed through, just want to add a little more cheese on this side. When I put the other tortilla shell, it's going to kind of glue it down. Don't have to have as much. Okay. Second tortilla shell goes on top. I can feel the shell on the bottom is now loose, which means it's got a little bit of crispiness to it. And putting a lid on effect is going to make sure everything gets heated through. That's fine. Oh yeah, I can actually start to smell the tortilla. So I'm gonna try and get it out here. Set it down so I can flip it outside of the pan. Flip it over the pan, I might end up making a mess. Take my hand, hold it all together, make sure it's inside. Put it back in. Just a nice little crust on here, just right. Cheese is melting. Pan's gotten really toasty, so it's not going to take very long. Everything inside is already pretty much cooked. Just want to get that shell just as crispy on the bottom as it is on the top here. That's perfect. It smells really good too. I'm damn hungry. It's almost lunchtime. I think from working, around food and kitchens all my life, I get asbestos fingers. But you do want to be careful not to get burned. It's just almost. That's still. So quesadillas are so easy to make. I mean, this is really all it takes. Be creative, put whatever you want in it. Of course, I'm going to show you that at the end of this video, I'm going to also add my recipe for my ranch dressing, which I think is ideal for most quesadillas, just for something to dip it in, especially if you're having a party. But jalapenos to spice it up, it's always a good idea. You can actually let these cool down, wrap them in tin, save them in the fridge, throw them in the oven at a later time. Won't be as good, but they'll heat up pretty good. Get it on pan out here, just so you can see it. Perfect. So, remember I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to flip it just so you can see. Bottom side's got a little color to it. So, all we got to do, take my pizza cutter, easiest way to cut it, and you can cut it in quarters, 6, I mean it's just like cutting a pizza. Take a couple of these nice gooey cheesy pieces, decorate them around a plate. So they're nice and warm. Got some of my ranch dressing right here. Nice little appetizer, fun for a party finger food. Serve it just like this. Make sure you give them plenty of ranch dressing because that's one of my favorite parts. And you've got a quick, easy meal. Other thing I was going to tell you is, with all these flavors, you want something really simple to drink with it. And I was thinking this morning of a dry rosé, and I had this great idea. If you're having a party and having fun, try a little sparkling rosé. This is great. This is a really nice extra dry rosé, fairly inexpensive, and it just kind of dresses it up, makes you feel a little warm inside with that little bubbly. So I would suggest anytime you want to just have a little fun, a great bottle of dry rosé is all you need. So once again, enjoy it, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day. So the problem is that most people think it's too hard to make dressing. I do not use dressing from a jar or a bottle. They all kind of mediocre, stink. So I make ranch dressing. I think this is the easiest, best way to make some ranch dressing. Basically, people think it's really tough to do. I'm going to show you how to make it so easy. And the question I always get is, well, how do you measure a cup of mayonnaise? You got those piston things, you can fill it up, but there's always air and it's never accurate. First of all, I'm here to tell you that I don't think your numbers have to be exact. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it by displacement. But this is such good ranch dressing. In fact, if I have wings, I make my own. If I have wraps, I make my own. This is just a good way to make a dressing. So first of all, I've got real buttermilk. This is the real McCoy. It's not fat-free buttermilk. Don't know how you can have such a thing, but I think I saw it in the store one day or low for that. So the key to this, I got a 1 quart, 4 cup measure, and I'm just going to put a cup of butter. That's so perfect. So I said we're going to do this by displacement. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add mayonnaise until the measuring cup comes up to 2 cups. Now they're kind of like icebergs, they kind of float, so you have to be a little conscious of that. It's not going to be exactly up to 2 when there's actually a cup in here. Let's see, that's probably pretty close. I've made this many times. Okay. So, I've got my packet, just put it on top here. And all we're going to do is we're going to incorporate this. Take a fork, just start mixing it in. You don't want to whisk this, you don't want to put it in a blender, because what you're going to end up doing is you're going to destroy all the thickening agent. And the cultures in the buttermilk are enzymes that are actually going to smooth this out for you. So you just want to make sure that after you get everything incorporated, we're going to kind of stir it with our fork just to get the big lumps out. That's really all we have to do. Hidden Valley says that you need to refrigerate at least half an hour. I find you really need to refrigerate for about an hour. That'll give it plenty of time to kind of thicken and smooth out. Okay, so I just have these little teeny lumps in here. It's not dressing lumps, and because you floated the mayonnaise on top of the buttermilk, you're not trying to scrape the mayonnaise from the bottom of the measuring cup. I used to do that. I used to put my mayonnaise in first and then pour my buttermilk on, and I was like, yeah. After a few times I got smart and realized this is the best way to do it. Okay. So like I said, this is easy. We're going to cover it, put it in the refrigerator for an hour.